Hi guys, it's Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing and I'm here with a book tag today. It's been a couple of weeks since I did a book tag, so I'm really excited to be doing one now, and it is one that I've done before, but I was tagged by Katie over Katie Loves to Read to do this again, and this is the Unpopular Book Opinions book tag, and I'm really excited to be doing this again. This is one of the very first book tags I did when I started my channel, and I wasn't really sure like kind of my answers, like if I'd go back now I would change a lot of my answers. So this is kind of my 2016 edition of the Unpopular Opinions book tag. So I'm just excited to get going and tell you all of my unpopular opinions. So the first book is a popular book or series that you didn't like, and for this one I am going to go with The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. I read this during the summer and I gave it a 2 stars or 2.5 stars out of 5. I just really didn't like it. I'd heard so much about it, and I'd heard so much about the atmosphere, the writing, the romance in it, and I did enjoy kind of the backstory and the whole plot, I guess, but I just felt a lot of it was lost, and the romance kind of took control and the romance didn't make much sense, and I just didn't really like it. I didn't really enjoy the characters. I don't know, I just felt really let down by the writing. I didn't get sucked into the story. So yeah, that was definitely a popular book that I ended up not liking at all. Number 2 is a popular book or a popular series that everyone seems to hate but that you enjoy. And for this one, I have kind of 2 different answers, but one of them doesn't really go with the question, but I do want to mention it. The first one that I've seen that people tend to, it's not that people hate it, but that there seems to be a lot of mediocre reviews, and I actually really enjoyed the book, was Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. I just really enjoyed this whole story. I loved kind of the different things that were revealed during it, and the end of it got me really excited for the next book, which I always enjoy, so I'm really eagerly waiting for the next book to continue on with that story. And the second book is, it's not that this is an unpopular series, but it's a relatively unknown series, and it's one that I read this year and that I did a review on, and I will link my review, and it is the Dublin series by Ruth Frances Long. This is a YA supernatural kind of angels and demons and fae and stuff like that story, and I really enjoyed this. I gave most of these 4 to 5 stars, and not many people know about this series, and it's definitely one that I think a lot of people on BookTube would really enjoy. Third question is a love triangle where the main character ended up with a person you did not want them to end up with, or an OTP that you didn't like. For me, I remember, it's been like a while since I read the book, but I read it this year, but I've already unhauled it because I really didn't like the book, is A Sin Eater's Daughter by Melinda Salisbury. And I just really didn't enjoy anything about this book, but I really didn't like the romance in it, the like OTP relationship. There were kind of 2 guys circling, and I didn't really like either of them, but the one guy that she seemed to have like a proper relationship with in it, I was just kind of like, it was done just so crappy, I guess. The writing about it was just crap, and the way they came together was just so cliche and just and yeah, I just didn't really like that at all. I just really didn't like the book anyway, but I really didn't like the relationship in it. 4 is a popular book genre that you hardly ever reach for, and for this time I'm going to say the new adult / those like really proper romance books. Like I don't really read a lot of new adult. I have thought about picking some of them up, but things like a lot of the Colleen Hoover books don't really appeal to me, though her latest one does kind of appeal to me because I've heard really good things about that one, but the other ones not so much. And then just some of the other ones that I've seen around, I'm just never that interested in them. And then for the proper like romance books, like I just finished reading the second book in the Lucky Harbour series, and I feel like that's as much as I can take. Like that's kind of quite like cheesy and soppy romance books, but I think that's not even as bad as romance books can get. So those kind of books where like, you know, there's always the topless guy on the cover, or the couple in like, you know, the real kind of raunchy position, that kind of thing on the cover, like I don't really read those. And I don't really have that much of a desire to read them either, so they're definitely ones that I wouldn't reach for. Number 5 is a popular book character or beloved character that you don't like, and for this one I can't really think of one, but I do say like there's one character that a lot of people love, and I just don't really have any strong feelings towards him. I'm just like, oh, he's there. And like, it's not that I don't like him, but I just don't really care about him, and that's Alec from the Shadowhunters series. And like, Alec is fine. Like, I love Magnus and Alec, yeah, like I'm happy with that. I would be Alec shipper, I guess. But Alec on his own, like, I don't really care about him. Like, he could do whatever and I don't really care. Number six is a popular author that you just can't get into, and I have two different ones for this. One is David Mitchell, but I've only read one of his books. I've read The Bone Clocks this year, and I didn't really get it. I just thought it was so drawn out and it was just so random and weird, and just the writing style just wasn't for me, and I definitely don't think I pick up any of his books, to be honest, any of his other books. And I know a lot of people really, really love his writing, but for me, his writing just didn't do anything for me at all. And the second author I'm going to say is probably not a surprise to anyone who's been watching my videos lately, is Ransom Briggs. I've read the first two of the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children books, and I didn't really feel strongly about either of them. I felt a lot of the time I was just really bored by the story, and I felt like I thought the story plot itself, like this idea around the story, was really, really good and really imaginative, and I really enjoyed that, and the characters on their own. But when everything was put together and the story got going, I just was really bored and I just didn't care, and I just wanted the book to be over, basically. So yeah, so it seems to me that Ransom Briggs just isn't for me at the moment, or maybe it's just him writing the Peculiar series, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be my kind of writing. Number 7 is a popular book trope that you're tired of seeing, and one that's kind of come recently for me is the possessive male character. I just hate when you have this female character who's going about, she's maybe exploring a new world, getting her own sense of freedom, just doing things her own way, and then suddenly this guy decides that he's attracted to her or that he likes her, and suddenly he has like every say in what she does and where she goes, and he has to kind of control every aspect of her life, and like has like opinions about everything that she does, and I just really, really, really hate that. Like, you kind of see it in like Twilight. Like, obviously Edward is extremely protective and extremely controlling, and Jacob Black is to an extent as well, and I think this is kind of where it almost started off, but I feel like this thing has probably always been in literature or in fiction, and it's kind of one of those things that, to an extent, it can kind of almost be thought of as sexy, because it's like, oh, he doesn't want her to go anywhere, he wants to protect her, he wants to look after her, and it's like, yes, but that's not to say that he just has to have a certain opinion because she's talking to another guy or something like that. So I just didn't really I don't like that at all. And one of the bigger things I've seen in the books is Jericho Barons in the Dark Fever series by Karen Marie Moning, which I hate anyway, that series, but he, even though like he won't actually accept the fact that he is sexually attracted to the main character, he is so controlling of her, and he's so judgmental of everything that she does as well, and it's just really, really, really irritating. And then the most recent book that I read, and I actually mentioned it in my review of it, is The Kiss of Deception, with the two male characters in that, and everything that they kind of say in their chapters about the main girl. I'm just like, why does this have anything to do with you? This is her living her life separately from your life. You shouldn't have a say in anything that she does, basically. So that just really, really irritates me, and I'd like to see less of that in books, because, you know, we're free creatures, women are free creatures, and we can do things without men, and without men giving us permission to do things. So yeah. Question number 8 is a popular series that you've no interest in reading, and at this moment in time, the Prince series by C.S. Packet is something that I'm not really interested in. I've heard a lot of kind of mixed reviews about it, and I've heard all like the negative things about it and some of the good things about it, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem like my kind of taste. So for the moment I'm steering clear of it, but I'm not saying I won't pick it up. Maybe if I come across it in the library I might pick up the first book, but I'm not really actively going out and searching for it. Number 9 is the saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show adaptation did you prefer over the book? And for me, this is going to be the movie for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I really liked the movie, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than the book. So for this year, for the stuff that I've seen this year, I definitely enjoyed the movie more than the book for that one. But that is it for my 2016 edition of the Unpopular Opinions book tag. Please leave me your comments down below. I'm not sure if I'll tag anyone. If I do, I'll probably be over on Twitter. I have to try and give it a think to see who I will tag. But until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!